Now it's the time for Dr. Noor Alam. He is the Office Secretary of BSCI. He is going to present a very important topics for the fellows, that is contrast agent and contrast-induced nephropathy. Dr. Noor Alam.
Thank you, Dr. Vijay. Respected chairpersons and fellows. Before going to my presentation, I would like to address one issue just discussed earlier regarding metformin. Metformin do not cause contrast-induced nephropathy, but metformin cause lactic acidosis. So, in patient with renal failure or renal impairment, if as lactic acidosis could develop, so metformin should be stopped and restart 48 to 70 hours or 72 hours after when the renal function is established. Later I will discuss. So my topic is contrast media and contrast-induced nephropathy. In clinical practice, we clinician use two types of contrast media: radiolucent and radioopaque. Radiolucent are negative contrast media, like air and gases, and radioopaque contrast media are iodine and barium based. In iodine contrast media, iodine is used as an opacifying element. Characteristics depends on ionic or non-ionic status, osmolarity of the media, and viscosity of the media. Non-ionic is the stable form of a media, so it doesn't dissociate, so it remains near isotonic, and low osmolarity, lower risk of complication in non-ionic media. Non-ionic media also has less reactions and a bit expensive. And another issue is osmolarity. What is osmolarity? Number of particles, cations or anions per kg of water is called osmolarity. And higher osmolarity means osmolarity higher than body fluids. That is, it is viscous. And higher osmolarity have a greater chance to contrast reaction. And also there is a chance of anaphylactic shock is most severe form. So higher osmolar contrast media means osmolarity 1500 to 2000 milliosmol, and lower osmolar contrast media osmolarity is 600 to 1000 milliosmol per kg. And isosmolar contrast media is the lowest osmolarity, that is 280 to 290 milliosmol per kg. That is similar to the body fluid. So isosmolar contrast media supposed to be the ideal. Dear fellows, here is some examples of our daily practice contrast media. One thing should be noted here: after the name of the contrast media, there is a number like 240, 300, 350. This number means the concentration of iodine or in this specific media in milligram per dl. And another point, another number is the last row of the table that indicates the osmolarity. These all are the lower osmolarity. And these two are the isosmolar, iodixonal and iopromide. These have osmolarity 290. It is similar to the body fluids. What is an ideal agent? What are the evidences? The data are not uniform. Which one is the ideal agent? The data recommended that the isosmolar contrast agent named iodixonal, trade name Visipac, associated with lower rates of contrast-induced nephropathy when compared with other lower osmolar contrast media, especially in patients with CKD and those with CKD and diabetes mellitus. An ideal contrast agent should be water-soluble, non-ionic, chemical and heat stable, biologically inert or not antigenic, low or isosmolar, low viscosity, and excreted selectively through kidney. And another issue is the contrast media reaction. Its incidence is 5%. 10 to 12% patients has history of asthma. 15% patients has the history of previous reaction. Three types of hypersensitivity of the contrast media is cutaneous and mucosal manifestation like angioedema, flushing, laryngeal edema, urticaria. There are some smooth muscle and minor anaphylactic reaction, bronchospasm, GI spasm, uterine contraction, and cardiovascular and major anaphylactic reaction like arrhythmia, hypertension, vasodilation. Now, my second topic is contrast-induced nephropathy. SIN is defined as the impairment of kidney function measured as either 25% increase in serum creatinine from the baseline or 0.5 milligram per dl increase in absolute serum creatinine value within 48 to 72 hours after intravascular contrast administration. What is the mechanism of the SIN? It could be direct nephrotoxic to the proximal tubular cell, or maybe indirectly affect the hemodynamics of the renal arterioles, causing vasoconstriction, or the contrast in, media may generate reactive oxygen species and free radicals that cause renal impairment. Risk factors for developing SIN: patient-related risk factors, procedure-related risk factors, and contrast-related risk factors. What is the patient-related risk factors of developing contrast-induced nephropathy? Is chronic kidney disease, diabetes mellitus, hypertension, metabolic syndrome, hypovolemia. Also, the heart failure and related risk factor. Urgent versus elective. Urgent procedure having more risk factor. Arterial injection having more risk factor of developing SIN than venous injection. And therapeutic procedure having more chance of developing contrast-induced nephropathy. What is volume-related or contrast-related risk factors? Volume of contrast. The maximum amount of contrast that can be used safely should be individualized. In general formula, we can use 5 into body weight in kg divided by serum creatinine in milligram per dl. But dear fellows, the maximum volume should not be more than 300 ml. In a very high risk patients, the modest amount should be less than 100 ml. And there are some risk scoring systems. We can calculate the low risk, moderate risk, and high risk, and very high risk. Incidence of SIN varies on age and associated risk factors of the patient. For diagnostic intervention like coronary angiogram, it could be 1.6 to 2.3%. For PTCA, it could be 14.5%. What is the treatment of the contrast-induced nephropathy? Prevention is the best way to manage contrast-induced nephropathy. Hydration is the cornerstone of SIN prevention. Adequate intravenous volume expansion with normal saline on to 1.5 ml per kg per hour 3 to 2 hours before the procedure and 6 to 24 hours after the procedure may reduce the incidence of SIN. And what about the heart failure patient with hydration? The fluid should be given lower rate. And what about the uncompensated heart failure patient? Fluid should be given along with the diuretics. And recent meta-analysis suggested that renal guard system, that is diuretics with mass fluid, is recommended in some data. Treatment with statin. Data suggested that patients treated with high dose statin has significant reduction of contrast-induced nephropathy. Data. The data, there are meta-analysis, randomized control trials, all suggested that according to those data, the ESC 218 guidelines recommended rosuvastatin 20 to 40 milligram, atorvastatin 40 to 80 milligram before procedure is to prevent contrast-induced nephropathy is class 2A indication. And N-acetylcysteine is also important according to the kidney disease improving global outcome. They recommended N-acetylcysteine as it is cost is low and lack of adverse effects and potential beneficial effect reported in several meta-analyses. Treatment in renal replacement therapy. Dear fellows, contrast-induced nephropathy is normally transient process. Renal function reverting to normal within 7 to 40 days of contrast administration. Less than 1/3 of the patients develop some degree of residual renal impairment. Dialysis required less than 1% of patients. However, the patients with diabetes and severe renal failure rate of dialysis as high as 12%. Among the dialysis patient, 80% required permanent dialysis. Patients at risk of developing SIN should be identified early. In conclusion, dear fellows and chairpersons, patients at risk of developing contrast-induced nephropathy should be identified early. Important risk factors like pre-existing chronic kidney disease, older age, diabetes, heart failure, or impaired ejection fraction, and hypertension should be noted. The best therapy for SIN is prevention, and hydration therapy is the cornerstone of SIN prevention. Other agents have demonstrated some benefit in prevention like SIN, including N-acetylcysteine and statin. Can you hear me? Potential nephrotoxic drug, NSAIDs, aminoglycosides, amphotericin B, cyclosporine, tacrolimus should be withdrawn in patients at risk. Metformin should be stopped at the time of procedure and resume 48 hours after the renal function. Current guidelines do not recommend stop ARB if the patient is already on them. For patients that increase risk of contrast-induced nephropathy, non-ionic isosmolar agent like iodexonal are associated with lowest risks of sin. The maximum amount of contrast that can be used safely should be individualized. In very high risk patient, the modest amount should be less than 100 ml, and the length of time between two contrast procedures should be at least 48 to 72 hours. So this is my presentation. Thank you all, dear fellows. Enjoy the great shows.
Now there are some questions. Is there any benefit of isosmolar contrast in heart failure or low ejection fraction group patients? Isosmolar contrast is more viscous. Does it have any clinical significance, Dr. Nur Alam?
Thank you for a nice question. Actually, isosmolar dye is the ideal, as its osmolarity is similar to the blood osmolarity. It has no extra benefit in heart failure patient, but it is important to prevent contrast-induced nephropathy. Heart failure patient, for heart failure patient, it is important to manage the volume of the hydration that may aggravate the heart failure. So volume of the dye is important, not the osmolarity of the dye is not important, but isosmolar is the better for prevention of sin in heart failure patients also.
Thank you. Another question: how to prepare CKD patients for coronary angiogram? What are the precautions, Dr. Nur Alam?
Actually, from my presentation, I try to answer this question. For chronic kidney disease patient, we have to first identify that they are the more prone to develop contrast-induced nephropathy, and we have to take all the measures, especially in terms of dye. We prefer isosmolar dye, and we will give hydration before and after. 6 hours before and 12 hours after. For 12 hours after, we will hydrate the patient. This so you can prevent contrast-induced nephropathy in chronic kidney disease patient.
Thank.
CIN.
It is by definition, it is a acute state and transient state.
Prevented.
It can be prevented.